Yeah, but you already know top of the top, and it won't stop. You dig? So I hear a lot while I'm out hanging out or whatever, and I rarely go out. Anybody that's been around me knows that I'm a hermit. Okay, I got the greatest records in the world, so you gotta sell me something for me to come out and hear you. Okay, that's it is, but and I respect everybody. I love everybody. Shoot, I taught some of y'all. I raised some of y'all. Okay, y'all. Some of y'all are like my kids, like literally. Some of y'all are my sons. But it's always love on my end. But at the same token, I see, and I think I've always witnessed this, and I never paid attention to it, but it's more of a thing now. It's a good thing, but it could hinder your progress as a DJ. As a hip hop DJ, what you don't want to do is get pigeonholed. And when I say pigeonholed, here's the thing. You want to be able, if you get booked for a particular gig, you got to learn how to read the room. People's in the audience, talk with the promoter, find out what are his or her 5 favorite songs, and that'll kind of give you an idea. Even though they want you to do you, so to speak, the audience doesn't know you. So it's kind of a thing where I hear cats and they'll go in and it's like, look, I was there, I've been there, but I used to kind of have a church and state kind of thing in terms of being a scratch artist. Okay, with the scratching, the heavy scratching, I used to save that for my mixtapes. Not that I didn't do it live, because everybody knows that see me live, you see me do it, you see me get down. But the mixtapes, I could stretch out a little bit more. Okay, so when you have a function where there's like, all walks of life, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, we know you can scratch, but don't heavily keep going in. It's like, okay, we know you know how to go in. You know what I'm saying? But what's going to happen is, because the person that's not used to scratching, they're going to be like, man, what is this? The hip hop head is going to be like, hey, thumbs up. So you want to have a broad range. And you got to understand, for me, I'm going to have a different perspective, because I've been playing since I was a kid, since disco was out. So my perspective is going to have a broader range. Okay, I know what it is to play for a grown crowd. That's what I started off doing first. And as hip hop came to LA, here's the thing. Scratching for me, I used to play with the turntable a lot when I was a kid. So, but I didn't, because I was just bad. I wasn't bad, but I was bad in my own way. So, but I used to be able to, if the turntable broke, I knew how to fix it, because I was always good at fixing things, take it apart and so forth. I was like 4 or 5 years old at the time. So when scratching came in, I saw cats, rubbing the vinyl. I was like, yo, I was doing that in 77. Bear in mind, I was like 3 or 4 years old, but I didn't know they had a name for it. So I said, wait a minute, they doing that? So for me, it's a whole different perspective. But nevertheless, stay balanced in terms of scratching. Now, if you're playing for a b-boy crowd, go in, do what you got to do, because that's what they came to hear. But if you have a wide range, what I'm saying, give them a little something, tickle they plate, like, oh damn, okay, you know what I'm saying, like, have a quick little routine, pop, pop, in and out. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in on like every record. You can, but make sure it's geared for that audience, because again, when you're playing for people, you want to make sure they're comfortable in listening to you in terms of balance. It's sort of like a singer. you know, you have singers that sing regular, like, oh, you know, baby, stay with me tonight. But then you got somebody that overdo it. Now, there's some people that are that master the art of overdoing in terms of like what they call runs. Okay, like you actually wait for them to do that. But then you have other people that just go over the top. It's like, just sing the daggone song. You're doing too much. Okay, so you know, just put a little balance in it. Watch out for them cuss words. You know, because you know, a lot of times we have, you know, elders and youth in the audience, and you know, we want to make sure we have all radio versions of the songs that you're playing. You know, and try to play something in terms of like a broader crowd that's gonna, you know, make them feel good. You know, now for a hardcore hip hop audience, like I said before, you better go in like your life depended on it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my take on it. You know, get some balance, and you're going to be all right along the way. All right, in a minute.